What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out a new brand to the channel, Zyac Knives. Zyac. I mean, I don't have any other way of pronouncing that. Z-Y-O-C as in cat. We're going to go ahead and see what this one's all about. I'll have the link down below so you guys can check it out. Should be an interesting one because of the case here, just judging by the case. So let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? We're going to waste no time. Very premium unboxing so far. We have this sort of leather embossed branding here and whatnot. And oh man, here is the knife, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. Is this Transformers, Megatron? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, this is going to be an epic one. Hope you guys are ready for this one. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And let's go ahead and dive right in, right? First impressions, I mean, what really draws my attention is this portion right here. I'm wondering if the knife is going to stretch at some point and maybe collapse the handle, and now stretching the handle because you want to make room for the blade. That's my hypothesis. Now we're going to see if that's the case or not, but that looks very Transformer-like, very futuristic. I like the bead blasted finish. It looks like it might be perhaps a little bit of a fingerprint magnet if you got sweaty paws. I don't know. I'm just going to give it a wipe here, right? This one is a loaner, so I am... of course, you know, someone else checked it out before me. So I was going to go ahead and give it a nice little wipe here and go from there. So it looks like we have a front flipper. We got a back flipper, thumb studs. I do like the very futuristic look to it. Almost looks like a spaceship, right? We have what seems to me like nice little inserts here or cutouts for tritium. Like if you wanted to put like glow in the dark tritium inserts on there, you could absolutely do that. The model here is the Z01S, by the way. And again, we are looking at Zyac. Actually, it's not Zyac knife, it's Zyac Knives. I stand corrected. There you go. That is the correct spelling. There we go. Again, a very interesting name to say the least. And we got lanyard solution back here. And then we have all kinds of hardware and everything exposed. Holes and everything. It's about to get very, very interesting here to say the least. So I'm going to go thumb stud deployment. I mean, this is, needless to say, a large knife. Again, it's folded and it's in my hand. It's already looking huge. So let's go ahead and bam, deploy the blade. Holy macaroni, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a Savage, M390 steel, bead blasted Tanto blade. Right? It has both flat grinds on this Tanto geometry. And it's got a pokey tip, right? Like that favorite YouTuber says here on the platform. Opening hole and a fuller, which I'm not sure if we can use to deploy or not. It is going to be a liner lock, and we do have about, I want to say, 30, 25, 20% or so on the lockup, more or less. There's your detent bowl, which we can see from here. And I mean, it just looks so interesting. Like even looking at this portion right here, we can see the liners. I wonder if we are on washers. Let me take a look here. Doesn't feel like it. It's actually very smooth on the draw. Downstall deployment. That feels good. Reverse flick. There we go. That's actually pretty nice. Back flipper. Okay, that's actually pretty solid too. And front flipper, last but not least. There we go. So all of them are pretty solid, to say the least. And hold on a second. What's going on with this one? I feel like I can push this guy a tad bit if I wanted to. Okay, looks like if feels like perhaps a safety. All right, something's going on with this button here. We're about to find out. I think. Okay, if you guys are ready for the transformation, I think this is what it is. This button right here, this is not a plunge lock, button lock, or button operated liner lock. I think this button is a specific liner on this side, and we got to get the 5x zoom so we can see inside. There's that liner in there, which I think has to do with being able to collapse the handle. Oh my goodness. Just like that. Check it out. We almost lost the light in that corner. I'm going to address that in a second, but holy macaroni. Once it's in place, it's in place. You need to push the button to be able to expand it. And of course, it wouldn't make any sense. It would be very silly of you. Actually, hold the phone, right? The knife would not even let you unlock it, right? I can't even get at the liner here to unlock the knife, to close it. Because, you know, of course, you know, the sharp end is going to hit here. The handle's not long enough. So that's a very nice safety measure right there. Let me fix this light right here, then we'll get back to it. All right, we are back. And again, just kind of following up, guys. I think it's so smart that it doesn't allow you to disengage the knife, because otherwise you would hit the actual knife edge on the handle here. So prevents you from being able to unlock the knife. Kind of, you know, for what it is, you know, obviously it's not going to be a fixed blade, but it kind of will feel like a fixed blade in a way if you can't even disengage the knife. And yeah, now you have more blade than handle, because the handle just got a little bit shorter, right? That is a very interesting mechanism. I have not seen that in any other knife before. I I honestly could not believe a knife could do that. Can't even believe that this is a knife and that it works this way. My brain is still processing right now. I'm like loading, right? Just trying to understand how this was even possible. I mean, there's obviously some crazy engineering going on here to be able to do so. So pushing the button, I'm able to extend the handle, and then, you know, once I let go of the button, it stays in place, and then now I can disengage the knife. So that is crazy epic, to say the least. If I want to, again, collapse the handle, I push on this button here, and then I can click it in place. We're good to go. I'm not able to disengage. Yeah, even if I push here, I have to make sure I extend the handle to be able to disengage. I don't know about you guys, so let me know in the comments, but I am still kind of trying to find the words here to process what is even happening with this knife. Obviously, if you got big old bare hands, right, big old bare paws, the larger handle is going to be the way to go for you. If you have, you know, smaller hands, I wonder if you can adjust at specific points. No, the answer is no. You can either lock here on the shorter position or lock here on the longer position. Those are your two options. And this kind of here works like maybe the rail, right? Kind of guiding the handle, this back piece back and forth. It's interesting how the linear solution, you know, like this floating piece, kind of like a floating island in the middle there. That is pretty epic how that looks. And holy smokes, guys. I mean, talk about something different, something out of the ordinary that you don't see every day. This is absolutely that, absolutely scratching that itch. Without a doubt. I mean, it's got a lot going for it. Multiple deployment options, right? Larger handle, right? Geometry and everything. But then the party trick, that is absolutely insane, right? Now, with the handle closed, I'm still getting pretty good ergos. I'm able to get a full purchase, full 4-finger grip. I have average size hands. Again, not the biggest, not the smallest of hands. Don't get a lot of jimping on the blade, and the blade does get a little bit skinny here. Towards, you know, like you got this chamfer here and there, so it goes from being this thick to being a little bit, right, thinner. But you know, this is one of those knives that's going to be more of a collector's piece. Let's be honest, right? You got this knife. I mean, it's going to have a premium price, given, of course, the fact that it's very unique in its design and engineering overall. You know, you're probably not going to think about this being your next beater, right, for everyday carry or what have you, but it will definitely be a conversation starter for sure. The fact that it can do what it can do, and not a lot of other knives out there can do so. I have been seeing, I think, recently on some blade shows, other knives that can do, I think, a folding handle that can release twice as big of a blade to what the handle looks like. I think that was pretty epic. I think I saw that on Melissa Backwood's channel. Hopefully yours truly will one day be able to go to a knife show. Maybe 2026 is the year. I don't know. But so far, it's just been sticking to, you know, making my videos, trying to make sure the channel can be successful, can continue to grow. And, you know, I love checking out very unique pieces like this one. Somebody's going to be in the comments like, oh, that knife shouldn't exist because blah, 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 XYZ reason. And, you know, to people like that, I would say, you know, just because, you know, some random person, or, you know, maybe you in this case, if for whatever reason you can't afford this knife, it doesn't mean there isn't a market out there for it, right? There's people out there who collect knives that have a bigger budget than you and maybe me combined, and they are willing to check out and add knives to their collection that are going to be a little bit more expensive. That they doesn't matter the price, you know, has something cool, something unique that they can add variety to their collection. I feel like this one will absolutely scratch that itch for sure. Let's just do, for giggles, some quick size comparisons here. I mean, the MSI, you guys already know, is a pretty long knife, and this one here, the Z01S, is giving it a run for its money because it's longer. There is the stitch, right? We'll do a few more. We got the Demko AD 20.5 right there. We got the Kunwu Chad. Still, again, a very substantially large knife. Now, if I were to reduce the handle, right, it's still going to be a pretty substantial large knife still, regardless, right? Because you're still getting a very long cutting path. As a matter of fact, if I get my measuring tape out here, we're looking at 4.25, 4.25 inches on the cutting path, 4.25 on the overall blade length. Folded position is going to be a little bit over 8.5, like 8.6-ish or so. And then if I go ahead and stretch it here, let's see, overall length now, we're looking at, this is insane, over 9.5 inches, like 9.6 inches or so on the overall length. That is insane. PM2 and Para 3, right? Just because these are very popular, you guys probably already own them as well, right? They're looking obviously quite smaller compared to this guy. And last but not least, just to do it justice, right? Here's the Maxace Vortex-S, right? The biggest folding knife that I currently own in my collection. And giving it a run for its money here, the Eclipse Knives 180-1. So yeah, folding knives, larger folding knives do exist, right? Spoiler alert, they're out there. But I mean, at this point, you know what you're looking for, right? These are overbuilt and large just because, right? Doesn't mean that it makes them the best everyday carry knife out there in any way, shape, or form. They're intentionally large just for the sake of people like them intentionally being large the way they are. So yeah, not the Vortex-S. Check out the video on this one if you haven't already. It is an absolute tank from Maxace. And this is the only model from Eclipse Knives that I've gotten a chance to check out. It's got a very interesting button locking mechanism. So definitely check that video out as well if you haven't already, guys. All right, in case you're wondering, right, how well does it cut? Again, we said M390 steel. That feels pretty good. Got a piece of paper here, textbook paper. Oh yeah, biting into that paper there right away. Get some full slices. Yep, no surprises there. And you do have quite the cutting path. So it's kind of like a Japanese katana on your hand, if anything. And some single wall piece of cardboard. Again, just for giggles, cutting diagonally here for better performance. Wow. Yeah, not even sweating it. Piece of cake. We can do this all day, right? Captain American style. No issues. And it has a bead blasted, right? Which absolutely kind of goes pretty well here with the handle, if you ask me, guys. Rate that cutting performance in the comments. 10 being the sharpest. You all let me know. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That is the Zyac Knives, the Z01S. Again, I'm really excited to check this one out because just probably like you and many people, we like seeing cool knives. We don't always have to check out knives that we can afford. We always, at least me personally, I like seeing knives for whatever cool feature, quirk they have, new mechanism that they bring to the table, or whatever the case may be. And this one absolutely has a very unique trick up its sleeve here with the collapsing and expanding handle for sure. So again, I had a theory going in. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna do, and just checking it out and seeing how it works right throughout the video, I was really impressed, to say the least. Again, I know there's gonna be somebody out there already typing in the comments, guys, knives like these exist because there are people out there that do love and enjoy knives like these on their collection. Serious knife enthusiasts, knife collectors, right? They like the unique factor. They like the, unique quirks and features. Right? Kind of sound like Dr. Mura. Unique quirks and features of certain knives. And this one absolutely here is no exception. Let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you all like about it? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Let me know. I will have this one linked in the description and pinned comment so you guys can check it out. If this is something that speaks to you, you have the funds and you want to add it to your collection, by all means. I think it's definitely unique enough and different enough. Again, not going to be a knife for everybody, and I'm not going to recommend it for everybody because, we all have different budgets and we all take the hobby to a specific level. Some do. Some take the hobby more serious, some don't. If you're looking for your next budget EDC, then obviously this will not be the knife for you. If you have a very good knife collection, you've been looking at very unique pieces that you have and looking to add your next unique piece, then obviously this will be for you. I mean, it's as simple as that. So hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.